So we all know that the South African government absolutely loves Hamas. Well, they don't say they love Hamas. They say they stand in solidarity with the Palestinian people, except they always seem to say this when Hamas wants to kill Israel and Israel wants to kill Hamas. But it's important to note, Hamas is actually a terrorist group. There is no other word to truly describe it. 90% of the Arab world doesn't want anything to do with it whatsoever. It was a terrorist group on the international terrorist lists for decades until very, very recently. And what they did during the course of the last few weeks is a classic case of terrorism. Invading another country, chopping off heads, killing babies, raping women. Apparently the ANC stands in solidarity with all of these acts. And you might wonder to yourself, why on earth is that? Why is the ANC so obsessed with the solidarity with the Palestinian people? Well, let Ronnie Casserole, a senior ANC member, tell you why.
I happen to be Ronnie Casseroles. I've been a member of the Communist Party of South Africa, the ANC, all my adult life. That's from the age of 20. After the Sharpeville massacre, I joined the armed wing of the ANC, or Conta Resistance Spirit of the Nation, to respond to a question about why the people of South Africa feel so strongly about the Palestinian situation is very easy to answer, because we recognize in the Palestinian comrades, the sisters and brothers, what we are, what we've come from. And incidentally, they gave us tremendous solidarity during our struggle. But the people of South Africa, and I'm talking now about the freedom fighters, about the indigenous majority black population, were dispossessed of their land, dispossessed of their rights, lived under colonial oppression and exploitation and the apartheid era. We fought back, and we understand why a people throughout history facing tyranny have the right to resort to armed struggle.
So in essence, it's A, loyalty, because apparently the Palestinians helped the ANC during the course of the apartheid regime in South Africa, and B, I truly think the ANC just has failed to update its software in 30 years. Palestinians of 30 years ago and Palestinians of today, especially in Gaza Strip, are two very different beasts. The ANC truly thinks that the Palestinians are fighting what the ANC fought. They are the ANC of the Middle East. And the only reason the ANC were not as violent as Hamas currently is, well, because the ANC is mildly retarded and couldn't hope to pull off an operation like Hamas did during the course of the last week. But there's another element to the story that people need to realize. By aligning yourself to Hamas, you're aligning yourself to all sorts of terrorist groups in Africa that are killing black Africans. And you know these groups extremely well. Boko Haram, Al-Shabaab, and countless others. And Al-Shabaab in particular is a group from Somalia, which has carried out numerous terrorist activities throughout Kenya. They killed dozens of people at the Westgate Mall, and they've killed hundreds of people across various attacks around Kenya over the past decade. And Al-Shabaab congratulated Hamas and asked everyone else to join in the jihad. Al-Shabaab is a group that the ANC is standing in solidarity with. They have exactly the same funders as Hamas, they have the same ideology as Hamas, and they have exactly the same tactics as Hamas, except Hamas kills Jews, Al-Shabaab kills black Africans. And if you look at an organization like Boko Haram, which is from Nigeria, it's also Sunni militant Islamic. And since 2012, it has killed over 300,000 children in Nigeria alone, has displaced 2.3 million Nigerians from their homes. It was famously behind the kidnapping of over 200 Nigerian school children. Once again, you can see the similarities between Boko Haram and Hamas. Same ideology, same tactics, same victims. But once again, Boko Haram is not killing Jews, it is killing black Africans. So when the ANC says it stands for the liberation of the Palestinian people and the liberation of African people and everything else, as you can see, it's talking absolute bullshit. The ANC is quite happy to support any group that seems to hate Israel and any group that is aligned to that hatred of Israel as well. Because believe it or not, Hamas does not represent the Palestinian people. So if you actually want to liberate the Palestinian people, you need to destroy Hamas, because it is Hamas that is making a two-state solution or a one-state solution impossible, because Hamas's charter says they want to destroy Israel at all costs. But there is something a bit deeper to this as well. The ANC's mask on what it purports to be and what it actually is starting to slip, because it purports to be this liberal democratic institution that supports the values and aspirations of its people. That's bullshit. At its very heart, the ANC stands for terrorism. And in doing so, the ANC doesn't care how many innocent people are killed by Israel or by Hamas. As long as Hamas wins, any death is worth the effort. And just to bring it a bit closer to home, Hamas has been in control of the Gaza Strip since 2006 or 2007, close to 20 years. And what exactly have they done for the Gaza Strip? Have they built infrastructure? Have they built houses? Have they improved health outcomes? Have they done anything meaningful for the people of Gaza? The answer is no. And when you compare their regime to the ANC regime, which has been in power for 30 years in South Africa, you can see why the similarities are a little bit too close to home.